Hey everybody, it's Eloy and from Third Eye Games, and now we're back and we're going to start really updating this YouTube channel more for all the Third Eye Games fans out there. So I want to go ahead and start off with a character creation video for the Ninja Crusade 2nd edition. Now we have one on the channel that's a longer one that we did. We had like 5 players, we all made characters, and it was amazing and it was fun. That's like a 2-hour long video, but really I wanted to show you how easy and quick it is to make one by giving you all an example. I'm even going to go the even quicker route of using the random charts. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my screen to the screen sharing here. Now you'll see that we have both the core book here as well as a form fillable character sheet. So we can see how easy it is to really just go ahead and get this done. If we go to the long road here, which you notice there that the PDF does have clickable things, we have step 1, Ocean. The character creation system for Ninja Crusade 2nd edition is a life path system, which is really cool. So what we're going to end up doing is selecting a certain number of key things about the character, and that will help build our character for us. So seeing as, again, I'm using the random roller here, which again is in the book on page 100, our character is going to be a water type, and he's going to be devious. He or she, I haven't really decided. He's going to be devious. So we're going to say water devious. The gift that we will receive for being devious is, and there's a long explanation there, against their own better judgment, the character has a certain devious track. They just can't escape. This often leads to double-crossing acquaintances and trying to get something for nothing. But the important part here is that they gain +1 for unsportsmanlike attacks. So +1 fighting for unsportsmanlike attacks. So sucker punch, stuff like that. So already we kind of have a good idea about the character. With every thing that you select, you get a good thing, a gift, but you also get a negative thing, which is called a trigger. And it says here, they're showing one's devious side against the wrong opponent can have long-reaching consequences beyond a bruised body or ego. Gain 1 karma for a cheat gone wrong that causes problems in the future. So we'll just say 1 karma when cheat goes wrong. Also, part of water is we get these skills and these and a yin point for our key balance. So we get empathy, knowledge, stealth, and travel. So empathy, knowledge, stealth, travel, and we also get 1 point of yin. So there we are. That's our first part of the character creation done. So the second part is we select what profession that our character hails from before they were ninja. So this is kind of where they got the foundation of their training. With our roll, I rolled a 7 and an 8, and that gives us that the character is a noble, so that's pretty cool. And an 8 means that the character is a magistrate. I mean, stepping into a situation without prior knowledge is tricky, but it is vital for enforcing justice. The ninja has learned to quickly analyze a situation and act accordingly. Gain +1 intuition to assess a situation. So that's pretty cool. So they are a noble magistrate. +1 intuition to assess situation. There we are. Oh, not underline. +1. There we are. All right. And I wrote access, didn't I? I did. Assess situation. And then their trigger is the law can be stretched sometimes, and the letter must be obeyed at other times, even when it might not be the spirit of the law. Gain 1 karma when the character refuses to bend or break a law to help the group. So 1 karma when they refuse to break the law. Now, also, as being a noble, we're going to get deception, intimidation, perform, and travel. Deception, intimidation, perform, and travel. And you can already see how our choices are starting to build our character for us. So already we have a devious person who also works as a magistrate, like a sheriff, somebody that makes decisions, an arbiter. So already we have a pretty interesting character. Could be a crooked governor or crooked daimyo or anything like that. So I think it's really shaping up to be pretty good here. And again, I'm making this character without coming into it with a certain idea. I'm just letting the dice tell me what my character is going to be. The next thing is river, and this is where we choose some sort of terrible thing that has befallen our character. So I rolled a 6 and an 8, and that tells us that this character will have a tormented mind because he is war weary. So war weary gives us 1 yen. So now we're up to 2 yen now. But also, the long war has taken its toll on everyone, including the ninja. They have spent the majority of their lives on the front line, battling the Izu Empire and the Ronin clans, and have faced death many times in the process. They gain +1 fighting when they are battling for their lives. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to go +1 fighting when battling for life. So how that would apply, because it sounds like, well, isn't every fight for your life? Well, no, not necessarily. If you're fighting somebody who you know you're going to win against, or if you don't necessarily care about the battle, then it won't count. Yes, you have the potential of dying, but you are not battling for your life. Battling for your life would be if it's you versus an army and there's only one way out, and you're backed against the wall, and just all this awesome stuff. So I think that's really the thing. But this character here is a devious person who is an arbiter who is just dragged down by the current war that's going on in the setting. The trigger is violent memories may be overwhelming, triggering fear and panic responses for those who suffer them. Gain +1 karma if memories of the war overwhelm the ninja and keep them from completing a mission. All right, so we're going to do 1 karma if harsh memories affect mission. Boom. All right, and tormented mind actually gives us empathy, fortitude, knowledge, and stealth. Empathy, fortitude, knowledge, stealth. He's already looking pretty good. He already has 2 in empathy, 2 in knowledge, 2 in stealth, and 2 in travel. No fighting skill yet, but we can get to that. We still have a couple more stages left. So we have the Forge. Now, the Forge is, what is the character doing in the war currently? With the way that the character is building, I might have picked communications or commander of some sort, but I'm going to keep with the spirit of this, and I'm going to roll randomly. So I have an 8 and an 8, which gives me the character is a striker, and looks like the character is a raider. So it says that the smell of the ocean is like home to the ninja, and they can move as well on the sea as they can on land. So gain +1 athletics when on a ship. So +1 athletics on a ship. Pretty easy. And then the negative thing, the trigger, is it's difficult for a ninja to see something they want and not take it. They never know when they will get another opportunity. Gain 1 karma when their greed has a negative effect on the group. Ooh, I kind of like that one. +1 karma when their greed affects the group. And then again, this is striker, raider. So I wasn't really necessarily going to take this character in the direction of being some sort of pirate, but I kind of like this. I actually really like this character. Let's see what Ninja Clan they end up coming from, because I think that that's going to decide what my final thing is for this concept. Step 5 is mountain. Now, mountain is where we choose which clan we're coming from. Again, I'm going to roll randomly. Well, I rolled twice just to see what my 2 options would be, since I've been rolling 2 dice for everything else. And I can pick either Hidden Strands of Fate or Will of Iron. Will of Iron is interesting because it kind of falls in with their magistrate background. However, I think that the Hidden Strands of Fate would also fit with the devious background as well. So it's kind of a hard choice. Actually, though, let's go back real quick, and I forgot to put in the skills for Striker, which are Marksman, Might, Stealth, and Survival. So Marksman, Might, Stealth, and Survival. Notice character has now 3 dice in Stealth, which is pretty cool. And the character just got its very first kind of attack skills with Marksman and Might. So I think I'm going to go with a Hidden Strand. So we're going to go Hidden Strands of Fate, which I really dig. So let's go to the Hidden Strands of Fate and see what else we get here. Hidden Strands of Fate. All right. Well, the first thing is that we now have access to fighting style Crane and Horse. We have access to the Way of Spun Threads, which is their special clan jutsu. We also get Deception, Intuition, Perception, and Persuade. So Deception, Intuition, Perception, Persuade. All right, looks like this character is kind of getting 1s and 2s and everything. So it's looking good, looking good. And also a yin. So now I'm very strongly aspected towards yin. All 3 of my key points are now yin. I have no yang, which is just fine by me. Their clan gift and their clan trigger are that they get an orchestrated life, which is everything from their birth to their death, their masters have made happen for them, and including their bad things. So in addition to +1 initiative, because they're faster to act, so we're going to just do +1 here in initiative until we come back to that. The character receives a +2 bonus for their tragedy gift and can garner 2 karma dice for the tragedy trigger, reflecting a true understanding of the lessons that their clan intended to teach. That means, so their clan gift is orchestrated life, and it's +2 to tragedy gift trigger. So there's that. So now, going over to War Weary, now he'll get +2 bonus if fighting for the life, and we'll get 2 karma if their harsh memories affect a mission. So you can see already how that kind of affects it. Their trigger is giving more to the clan. So the clan of the Hidden Strands are actually really corrupt, and they're very much in line with their own wants and needs, even over what the mission might call for the Lotus Coalition. So they gain 1 karma when they follow a secondary secret objective, and it causes tension or makes them look like they're suspicious. So that's pretty cool. 1 karma plus bad things. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. All right, so now the next part is that we're going to select 2 contacts. We're going to pick 1 ally and 1 rival. So my ally is going to be, I rolled a 1, my ally is going to be Natsume Mitsuyo, who is a politician in the Izu courts. She is known for being able to convince anyone to do anything. So let's go ahead and write her. The form fillable character sheet doesn't have a way for me to circle the A, but the A on a piece of paper, you would circle that to say this is an ally versus the R, which makes it a rival. So there's that. And I'm going to roll randomly again for who my rival is. And it looks like it's going to be Murakami Hiromi. She is an accomplished thief, able to get her hands on just about anything, which really kind of fits well with what I'm thinking for this character. Thing about your rival is that you always start owing them a favor. And that's part of the mechanics there is you can go to your contacts and ask them for assistance or help with things, but if you owe them a favor, they will ask for that to happen first before they give you their assistance. So there you go. Since I'm only making one character, I'm not going to fill in the bonds. If I had 3 other characters in the group, I would choose one ninja who made me feel welcome to the squad, even though others weren't too happy with my assignment. I would choose one who caught me in a betrayal and may never trust me again, and I would choose one whose life I saved at some point, and I may want to call in that favor. What it does is it kind of introduces some really easy, quick character relationships right there, just based on the clan that you picked. Now, the last thing, well, step 6, I keep saying the last thing, step 6 is temple, which is where we pick our martial training. If we roll randomly on here, we get 2 levels of martial training. So I'm going to look here. I rolled a 3 and a 6, which tells me I'm going to pick from one of my fighting styles. It's going to be my secondary fighting style, which is horse. And I rolled a 10, which means I'm going to pick the 3rd technique under horse. So let's see what that is. All right, so the 3rd technique under horse is to run free. And level 1 of that, due to the intense strength and endurance training, the ninja can run faster than others and gains +4 movement per level. So there we are. So we're going to do +4 under movement, and we're going to go ahead and write horse style. We're going to write horse to run free +4 movement per level. And we have level 1. So that's our first martial training. Our second martial training, a 3, which says I get Master of Spies. And then I rolled a 1, which says reroll. All right, so I rolled a 4, and that says that I get Assassins. So we're going to go Master of Spies. Assassins 1. So with level 1 Assassins, it allows me to basically pick somebody that I want dead, and I can send people to go kill them. And it might take some time and planning and whatnot, and I have to make some rolls to make sure that they complete it, but they will basically murder that person. I can't say, go murder the emperor, because then that's like impossible, but I can say, there's a politician that's in my way, I need him dead. And depending upon how important that politician is, it makes it easier for me to do that. So pretty cool ability. I'm glad that I actually got assassins. Assassins or thieves, I think, probably would have worked. And if I get to level 2, then I can actually have them come around with me Assassin's Creed style, which would be pretty nice. But for right now, those are my 2. And then the last part is I get to pick my jutsu. Now that is not something that I can use the random charts for. So I am going to be going through some of the powers here and picking the ones that I think really fit what I'm looking for. So I definitely will always get some from the way of spun threads because that's my clan jutsu. I have to select some from my clan jutsu. So we'll go spun threads. There we are. Okay. So the way of spun threads. So I have to pick some of these. So let's look at some of these. So there's attached, which allows me to attach threads to things, invisible threads, skilled strands, spider scry, thread web, battle strands, blasts of webbing, strumming the chords, pulling strings, thread whip. Oh, and I'm also yin, so I'm looking for abilities that are yin specific because those are going to be easier for me to activate than yang ones. So blast of webbing, they're actually really yang based. Blast of webbing, spider's charm, spider scry. These are a few here. I'm not really feeling a whole lot of the hidden strands things for this particular character. So I'm going to spend 2 of my points to buy blast of webbing, I think. So blast of webbing. It's a median. My dice pool is yin plus marksman. And the effect is that shoots ball of sticky string, slowing down the target and making it hard for them to move. If hit, they lose -2 movement per success. If reduced to 0, they lose their action for the round. So we'll do -2 movement per success. So it keeps others from moving, which is pretty cool because I have to run free, which means I can slow others down and also then run circles around them. I like that a lot, actually. Also, the training here for Way of Spun Threads is that if I boost on an activation, I can use attached for free. Boost equals attached for, and attached is the jutsu that they can attach a string to something, which is super, super useful. Their drawback is that they will take a -1 penalty to all jutsus of this type during the scene until they untangle. So -1 penalty to these jutsu. All right, so there's that, and I think that's the only one I'm going to pick from the Way of Spun Threads, because I think I want to go over to the water if this character is going to be on a ship and doing stuff on a ship. I probably should look and see if there's some water things. So I really like the idea of water walking, which is a yin plus athletics. So let's do that. So water walking, which is a basic yin plus athletics. Move freely on water. Just in case, I need to get out. But I really like liquid breath as well. So I'm going to do liquid breath, which is a basic, and it's yang plus fortitude, and it's breathe underwater. So I can work above water and underwater just fine. Now, I've spent 4 of my 6 jutsu points because medians are 2 points, basics are 1 point. So I have 2 more points. So let's look at some of the median water jutsu. I like the Pull of the Deep. And what Pull of the Deep allows me to do is create a mist, which I think is pretty cool. And it's yin plus perception. And what it does is it creates a yin times 10 feet area, creating mists that cling to everybody except the ninja. Anyone in the area is slowed as though moving through rising water and suffers a -1 penalty to any action that requires a move action for the rest of the scene or battle. So -1 penalty to yin times 10 area. They move. All right, so now I have my jutsu. I do need to go ahead and put in my training and my backfire for the Way of Water. The training is on a boost. I gain +2 bonus to the next defense check. +2 to next defense. And the backfire is the suffer a -1 penalty to movement and defense. -1 defense and there we are, and I have selected my jutsu there. Now, I kind of skipped it because I like to do this last, but it's a personal choice. Now that I have all that done, I get 10 points to spend to increase my skills, as well as I get to select 2 specialties. So, looking at my stuff here, I definitely want to up my character's fighting ability. So let's do 3 dice in fighting, and I want to up my marksman by 2. So he can... Actually, I kind of like the idea of this being a female, a woman character. So let's go with that. So she has equal amount of fighting up close versus range. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points there. Looking at my jutsu, I need good marksman, which I just upped, good athletics, good fortitude, good perception. So let's put an extra dot into perception and fortitude. So now that's 7 points I've spent. let's go ahead and put 2 into athletics. So now that's 9 points. And I'm going to throw a point of speed just for good measure. So that's my 10 points there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her some really good. I've decided that she's going to be kind of a, or maybe a privateer. I kind of like that maybe. So she's a privateer, and she is the one that's out fighting the actual pirates who are possibly stopping some of the information or resources going to the Ninja Crusade, while also using her abilities to destroy ships that are aiding the Empire. So I really like that. But if she's going to be a ninja pirate, then she needs to be able to drink. So I'm going to give her a specialty in drinking under fortitude. And I'm going to give her a bonus on marksman to hit ropes. Because, you know, in like pirate movies, they're always throwing stuff and cutting ropes and stuff. So I think that that's going to be really, really cool visual effect for her. Now, looking at the character sheet, we're pretty much done. Now we just have to add up all of her side things and see what we have. So health is going to be fortitude plus 5, and she has 2 fortitude, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 health. And her psyche is 5 plus her discipline, which she has 0 discipline, so it's just going to be 5. And that's fine. I'm going to give her, if we go to weapon type, so since I've kind of stated that she's going to be a kind of thrower, I think I'm going to give her 2 weapons. I'm just going to give her a regular sword, so a katana, and then I'm also going to give her some kunai, which are throwing daggers. Instead of just putting, you know, katana and then writing the qualities, I'm actually going to write 2 in here. So I'm going to write katana, which is sharp and quick, and kunai are sharp and ranged. So there we are. Now, going through the rest of this, health is fortitude plus 5, psyche is discipline plus 5. So she's a rank 1 ninja, so she's going to have 1 dynamic action and 3 dynamic dice. So 1 and 3. Initiative is intuition plus speed plus 3. So her intuition is 1 plus speed is 1. So she's going to have an initiative of 5, except that since she's a hidden strand, she gets plus 1. So her initiative is 6, which is actually pretty good. There are characters that have as low as 4, or technically 3, but none of my pre-gens did, but as low as 4 and some as high as 9. So that's pretty cool. And her strength is athletics and might, and her athletics is 2, her might is 1, so she's going to have a strength of 3. Movement is athletics and speed plus 5, so 2 plus 3, so that's 8, but she's got a plus 4 from her 2 run free, so she's got a movement of 12, and she's a rank 1 ninja. And with that, she is actually done. So that looks like a really fun character, and I can come up with a little bit more in terms of actual character background and stuff, but all in all, this looks pretty darn good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the random name chart in the back of the book on page 204 to figure out what her name is going to be. So her family name is, I rolled a 6 and an 8, which is 14, is going to be Sakurai. And then I rolled a 15 for the first name, and it's going to be Setsuko. So Sakurai Setsuko, this is Eloy's character, and I'm going to say she's, she's a privateer, always looking to take what her crew needs and stick to the Empire. has short hair and a patch over one eye, just for fun. All right, so that is actually a completed character. That actually didn't take us all that long, except that I kind of had to flip through the book a little bit. But all in all, that looks really, really good. So thank you guys for coming and seeing what it takes to make a character here in the Ninja Crusade. And until next time, keep having fun.